Childhood trauma doesn't ruin your life loudly. It ruins it quietly, in the way you think, love, trust, and exist. And right now, it's controlling you in ways you don't even realize. Here's what no one tells you about childhood trauma. Most people think trauma is just bad memories. But that's not the whole truth. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how childhood trauma quietly destroys you. First, it destroys your brain. Your brain is stuck in survival mode, and it's been running this program for 20, 30, maybe 50 years. You're 5 years old, you're sitting at the dinner table, and you accidentally spill your milk. Your father explodes. You're so stupid. You can't do anything right. Your heart races. Your hands shake. You freeze. In that moment, your brain makes a decision. Survive. Your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, screams, danger, danger. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that thinks logically, shuts down. This is called hypervigilance. Your nervous system is scanning for threats, constantly. Now here's the problem. You're not 5 anymore. But your brain? It never got the update. 30 years later, you're still scanning for danger. A raised voice at work. A text that takes too long to answer. A door that slams. Your body reacts like it's 5 years old again. You can't relax. You can't sleep. You can't trust. Because your nervous system is still running a program written by trauma. A program designed for a war zone. But you're not in danger anymore. Your brain just doesn't know it. When you're a child, repeated trauma literally reshapes your brain. The amygdala grows larger. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for emotional regulation, shrinks. Your stress response system, the HPA axis, gets stuck in on mode. This means your cortisol levels, your stress hormone, stay elevated for years, decades. This isn't a metaphor. This is biology. You're not broken. Your nervous system is just doing what it was trained to do. Protect you from a threat that no longer exists. This is why. You feel exhausted even when you've done nothing. You can't concentrate. You're always waiting for something bad to happen. It's not anxiety. It's not weakness. It's chronic hypervigilance. Your body is exhausted from a war it's been fighting since childhood. A war that ended years ago, but no one told your nervous system to stand down. But your brain isn't the only thing trauma destroys. It goes deeper, because trauma doesn't just hijack your nervous system. It steals your identity. Second, it destroys your identity. You don't just think you're broken. You know you are. And that belief is quietly destroying everything. You're 7 years old. Your mother looks at you and says, "I wish you were never born." You don't understand what you did wrong. You never do. But something happens inside you. A voice starts to form. Quiet at first, but it grows louder over the years. She's right. I'm a mistake. I'm worthless. This is called toxic shame. It's not guilt. Guilt says, I made a mistake. Shame says, I am the mistake. And now, decades later, that voice is still there. You get promoted, they'll realize, I'm a fraud. Someone compliments you, they're just being nice. Someone loves you? If they really knew me, they'd leave. You're not living your life. You're living in a prison built by a child's pain. Toxic shame creates what psychologists call core beliefs. Deep, unconscious assumptions about yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm unlovable. I don't deserve happiness. These beliefs don't just hurt you. They control you. They make you. Self-sabotage when things are going well. People please until you're exhausted. Stay in toxic relationships because deep down you think, this is all I deserve. And the cruelest part? You're so used to this voice that you don't even question it anymore. You think it's you. Maybe you were the only child your mother didn't love. Your siblings got everything, the affection, the attention, the gentle words. You got the blame, the criticism, the cold silence. You never understood why you were chosen to be the one left out. Why you were the one who always did something wrong, even when you didn't. This is what it means to be the scapegoat child. And if you grew up this way, you learned something devastating. Love isn't for everyone. It's only for some people. And I'm not one of them. Now, as an adult, you're convinced you're one of the ones who doesn't deserve it. Does this sound familiar? But it gets worse. Because when you believe you're worthless, you start to prove it. And nowhere is this more devastating than in your relationships. Third, it destroys your relationships. You're terrified of intimacy, but you're also terrified of being alone. And this contradiction is tearing you apart. You're 9 years old. Your mother makes you popcorn on the way home from school. She's so nice today. You feel hopeful. Then you walk upstairs. She's destroyed your room. Drawers ripped out. Clothes everywhere. She screams at you to clean it up. You don't understand what you did wrong. So you learn something. Love isn't safe. Love is unpredictable. Fast forward 20 years. Someone gets close to you. They care about you. They want to know you. And you panic. You push them away. You start fights. You disappear. Because deep down, you're waiting for the moment they turn on you. Or worse, you cling. You beg. You become desperate. Because abandonment feels like death. This is called anxious avoidant attachment. You're caught between two fears: fear of intimacy and fear of abandonment. You want love, but love feels dangerous. So you sabotage it over and over again. And you wonder why you're always alone. Here's what's happening. Your brain associates love with unpredictability, with pain. As a child, the people who were supposed to protect you were the ones who hurt you. So now, your nervous system equates closeness with danger. When someone loves you, your brain screams, run. But when they leave, your brain screams, don't let them go. You're stuck in a loop. Not because you're unlovable, but because you were never taught that love could be safe. Maybe as a child, you had to earn love. You had to perform, to be useful, to give something in exchange for affection. And now, as an adult, you can't receive love without feeling like you have to earn it. You can't trust that someone loves you just for being yourself, because you were taught that love is transactional. If you've ever felt like you have to perform to be loved, this is why. And here is the other side. Some of you can't trust anyone. Not your partner, not your friends, not even yourself. Because every time you trusted someone as a child, they hurt you. So now, your brain says, it's safer to be alone. This is called hyper-independence. You don't ask for help. You don't lean on anyone. You don't let anyone in. Because you learned, the only person you can trust is yourself. But deep down, you're so lonely you can barely breathe. But relationships aren't the only thing trauma destroys. It also destroys the way you cope. And that might be the most dangerous part of all. Fourth, it destroys your coping mechanisms. You're not weak. You're just using the wrong tools to survive. And those tools are killing you. Lena had a beautiful life, a loving boyfriend, a bright future, and a young son. But she carried the scar of being abandoned by her biological parents, fueling the deep belief that she was worthless. When life became too good and too safe, her traumatized system couldn't accept it. She unconsciously sought self-sabotage to prove her core belief: I don't deserve this. Just as her biological mother chose substance abuse and chaos over her, Lena chose cocaine, a tool to disconnect, to numb, to recreate familiar turmoil. Tragically, this coping mechanism stole her life. Lena's death is a heartbreaking reminder that self-sabotage is often the final, desperate attempt to validate an old wound. And here's the part no one admits. You may not be using cocaine, but you're living a quieter version of the same pattern. You can't stop the pain. You can't fix the emptiness. You can't change the deep-seated belief that you are worthless. So you do the only thing you can. You try to numb it. This is called dissociation, emotionally checking out. And it works. For a while, but here's the problem. You're still using tools that were meant to get you through a moment. Except now, it's alcohol, binge eating, endless scrolling, overworking, anything to make the pain stop. Because feeling? Feeling is dangerous. Feeling means remembering, and remembering means pain. So you avoid it, you bury it, you tell yourself you're fine. But you're not fine, you're just surviving. Over time, you start to believe this is all there is. This is learned helplessness, the belief that nothing you do will ever change your situation. So you stop trying. You give up before you start. You live under your potential. Not because you're incapable, but because you were taught that trying is pointless. Psychologists call this maladaptive coping. As a child, dissociation saved you, but as an adult, it's destroying you. Because every time you numb the pain, you're also numbing everything else. Joy, connection, purpose. You're not living, you're just existing. And here's what no one tells you. Childhood trauma doesn't just destroy your mental health. It destroys your physical health too. That chronic stress you've been carrying for decades, it's causing heart disease, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, chronic pain, digestive issues, and even worse. Your body is breaking down because it's been in survival mode for 20, 30, 40 years. This is the invisible cost of childhood trauma. It doesn't just steal your happiness, it steals your life. So what do? How do you break free from a prison you didn't even know you were in? How do you rewrite a program that's been running since you were 5? First, I need you to hear this, and I need you to really hear it. It wasn't your fault. Say it with me. It wasn't my fault. You were a child. You had no power, no control, no choice. The trauma happened to you. It didn't happen because of you. And the way you responded, the anxiety, the avoidance, the people-pleasing, the shutting down, those weren't weaknesses. They were survival strategies. They kept you alive. And for that, you should be proud. You survived. But here's the truth. You don't need those strategies anymore. The danger is gone. The war is over. Your nervous system just hasn't realized it yet. So now, it's time to send the update. You are not broken. You are not damaged. You are not too much or not enough. You are someone whose brain was programmed to protect you in the only way it knew how. But that program is outdated now, and you have the power to rewrite it. Not overnight, not easily, but you can. The first step is awareness. You can't heal what you can't see. So start paying attention. When do you feel anxious? When do you shut down? When do you sabotage yourself? When do you feel like that scared child again? These aren't random. They're patterns. And patterns can be changed. Write them down. Name them. Bring them into the light. Because once you see them, they lose their power. Second, practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself the way you'd talk to that child version of you. Would you tell them they're broken, worthless, unlovable? No, you'd hold them. You'd tell them it's going to be okay. You'd tell them they're safe now. So do that. For yourself. Right now, you deserve the love you never got. And you can give it to yourself. Third, you don't have to do this alone. Therapy isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of courage. Find a trauma-informed therapist. Join a support group. Talk to people who understand. Healing isn't a solo journey. It's a community effort. And you deserve a community that sees you, that holds you, that believes in you, even when you can't believe in yourself. And fourth, give yourself what you never had. The hug you never got. The "I'm proud of you" you never heard. The safety you never felt. You can't change the past. But you can give your inner child what they always needed. You can become the parent you never had. Childhood trauma tried to destroy you. It stole your peace, your relationships, your sense of self. It told you that you were broken, worthless, unlovable. But here's the truth. You're still here. You survived. And that makes you stronger than you know. The scars are real. The pain is real, but so is your capacity to heal. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you do next. So take a breath, feel your feet on the ground, and know this. The person you were meant to be is still in there, waiting, fighting, hoping, and it's time to bring them home. You were never broken. You were just programmed to survive. And now, it's time to learn how to live. I hope this video was helpful in some way. Please hit the like button and leave a comment sharing one thing that stayed with you until this moment, so I know you're here and that you're not alone on this journey. And always remember, mental bloom is the place where you are understood, held, and gently guided back to happiness, because you deserve it.